Good morning. This is Russell Griffin, and this is Sunday morning, and I have a request for a Sunday stump report, and this is what I've come up with. I was asked, I'm gonna try to do this. This morning I'm at a cemetery. This cemetery is in Jackman Moose River Cemetery. And I want to tell you how I come up with this. I know it's been said before, but it's how I got to this. That the cemetery is not for the dead. The cemetery is for the living. And I'm going to tell you how I got to this. Back 20 years ago, I got my airplane license, and I have an airplane, and sometimes we get requests to spread people's ashes. You know, there's some location that they want them, and if people ask me, I will do it. But I have started telling them this story because it's what I have seen, that sometimes we take the ashes out and we dump them over where they wanted to be. And sometimes there's a certain family member or a person or a family, they don't have a spot, and they don't have the place to go. People need the place to go where they can put their hands on it or see it. They got to have the headstone. And I'm going to show this. This is my father's gravestone. This is where my father is. This was years ago. We were hunting on Alder Brook, and my father started logging in Alder Brook, and we climbed to this hill one day. It's called Tricky Bluffs, and we climbed up there one day, and he says, when I die, I want you to spread my ashes and on top of this mountain. So on, here 20, 30 years later, when he got sick with cancer, and then that year and a half we talked almost every day. And one day I told him this story about, you know, how some of these people, they just don't have the place after they spread the ashes. And I know this one girl, she actually went and got a headstone and she put it in a cemetery, and it says, even though he's not here, we wanted him to be here with all his friends. And this is kind of the thing with my father. I wanted him, every Griffin I known is buried in Levant, Maine, but we buried him here because we wanted him to be with his friends. This is where he lived. But anyway, I think when people die, and when they're born in a town, they start out with their pedal bike and they're with their mother, and they make these thousands of trips up and down town. And when they're teenagers, they got their car and they race up and down town. And when they die, I think there's honor in we carry the body into the church. We carry the body out of the church, and we give them their last ride through town, and we take them to the cemetery and we put them in the ground. I think there's honor in that. And in America today, we're losing morals, and these kids of the future, the morals are just not the same. I think that's a tradition that we need to hang on to, and it's being lost. But the point I'm trying to make is that whatever your decision is, if that one person, if that's what they want and you want to do it, that's fine, and you can live with it. But make sure you can live with it. You've got to do what you can live with, because it's a long time that you're going to live in. That may be something you want to think about. But anyway, the cemetery is for the living. That's my Sunday stump report.